I got so I've been telling y'all, right? It's 3 months pretty much in a year, but it's dealing with July, August, September. So it's 3 months with four alternates of that three, which ties to the Big 12. But really, the 12 represent um a three. It represents the ether. You feel me? Because it deals with four pieces of a pie when you're talking about a aura. So when we're talking about an aura of the planet, that's what makes it look like a globe. You feel me? It really makes a 6 point star within a circle. When it's a cube, it becomes like a, a cube. You feel me? But within that cube, it deals with different geometrical shapes, which has different frequencies. And when it comes together, it creates this aura, right? Just like our bodies do. Because what Tesla talks about the vortex that the 369 or like like energy creates for me, that actually dealt with them doing operations on the golden race. You feel me? Because they've always been trying to study their DNA, because of the study science is the study of life. When you look at the golden race, you see what DNA is tied to, right? It's tied to uh, memory. Natural memory is tied to the Akashic records, so on and so on. But when you're talking about memory, you're talking about an atom, right? An atom is the base form of self. So, like, the thing about it is the atom is water, fire, air, and God for me, and the sun, and the blood, and the metals. And it's four states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, plasma. So, that being said, these days I'll be telling you it's getting hot. You're gonna see the plan I've been seeing is a whole operation. And when I first started this channel, I used to say they're all on the same team. They're pretty much a big family. But when I say they're all on the same team, meaning they're running the same game book, just with different formations, with different players, right? Just like football. Quarterback yells out, Delta, 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 red, red, B113, calling out codes, right? Because, like, I used to play football, right? You have wristbands. These wristbands have certain colors on these wristbands, and different numbers, um, and names beside it. You feel me? So when the quarterback yells out the name, you can look at the wristband, see what play you're gonna do. The thing is, I see how they always been trying to teach uh, kids the shit beforehand. So it's like if they were to succeed and the plan they had for uh, the top grads, like like kids that were like really into school and like getting great grades and end up becoming like scientists and shit like that for them, you know, like all types of shit. I mean, it kind of like throw it in our face because it still deals with 369 left and right. But the thing about them is they call these different formations different names, and when they call them out, they do different things, but they're all doing the same thing. It's just they're they have to go against the energy, right? Because of the atom, the black atom. For me, this is when they really start locking down with CERN, and CERN is actually a time traveling machine. For shit show, it's a time traveling machine. And if it has something to do with the hertz coming off the sun, then it's definitely a time traveling machine. If it's not and it's a hoax, then it's not. But if it is, then they have the time traveling machine. And I feel like by the time the timelines cross, which is going to happen probably this month or next going into June 2nd, because I don't think the emergency broadcast is going to be, I mean, it might be. Um, I have to see if I can come up with a date to go with the time. But I know not giving a specific date, we got to read energy, and that's how we're going to tell. So the EBM will be announced when it's going to be the third out of four cycle. Say like you're going around a 360 grid, right? A circle. So you make a right triangle from 12 to 3 o'clock. That's north going to east. Then you make another uh, right angle. So pretty much it's going to be a 180 degree. It's going to be like a straight line, pretty much. And two like triangle looking, like two pieces of a pie. So as you keep going to the third, that's when you get to the 9 that was hitting the west, right? This is how the sun moves. It hits different sacred degrees around the 360. So when you get to the 9, it's 270, right? 27, back to 9. But yeah, back to 9. So that's 369. Boom. Then you get to 12. That's 360, but that's 12. That's one cycle, right? So if you were trying to explain 1D, that's one cycle. Now it keeps going up, it keeps going up, type shit. Feel me? So where we're at the sixth one, but it's pretty much still 5D at the same time. And so it's still 5D on our side, pretty much, but we're experiencing 6D energy. It's just we are like in the second going to third, right? Because it's really gonna cross. Yeah, it's probably gonna cross this month. Between this month and next month, for shit show, because of the hertz. It deals with 1890, so that's some memory from back then. it's gonna seem like just watch people just gonna be like talking about things from that time. You feel me? And having an understanding to what's going on because it's a repeat of history because of a cycle. There's no future, present. I mean, there's no future or past. It's just three different participles. Like, they're just in time. You feel me? Dealing with these cycles. Like, you are the cycle. So, you are the future and you are the past. So, when you're in the present, you're actually changing the future and the past. Like a movie. Like that ass. Like, that's what type of time we are really in. Like, if I'm learning this time traveling shit, and really, I haven't even listened to people saying time traveling. Like, I don't really be on TikTok. I made some videos and stopped. But like, I really don't be on TikTok. Like, I heard I saw on the news that TikTokers were talking about time traveling and shit. I mean, I seen like some dude was talking about like 2070 and shit. But the thing is, bro, these niggas cap. But look, the thing is, bro, is going to deal with the hertz because the hertz is the measurement of the year. Okay, that's why as it rises up, your even if you don't remember, it becomes intuition, especially when you're in the right diet, the correct diet for your body to even operate that way. So it's not really a genius thing. It's just like an amazing thing. Like, it becomes a normal thing after a while. It's just amazing because you're freeing yourself. That's like when a nigga get out of jail, he's fucking happy. You feel me? There's no looking back until you fall off and do the same shit that you know will get you in the same position. But if you're ascending or getting to that point, right? Accept, forgive, move on. Feel me? You have to break these loops while you're like literally going in this energy because like I said, if you believe you could time travel, hop in the machine, go back in the past. But we've been in this shit just in a different scenario. You feel me? And the energy from that deals with us because it comes through us. That's why a lot of people is about to start cleaning up the planet. Because once you start thinking about something, as you see something differently, that deals with your intuition, that deals with your memory, even if that's your subconscious memory. Remember what I said, the subconscious is dealing with your soul, dealing with your feminine energy the most. Your conscious, like what you use to be thinking all the time, like say if a lot of shit always running through your head, that's running through your conscious, right? But there's a two, spirit and soul. The thing is, you want to have that clear. Feel me? Just like how Morpheus used to tell Neo, clear your mind, free your mind, Neo, clear your mind. Right? Don't take too many other perspectives of how to clear your mind because you're dealing with yourself. You know? Like, start to love yourself because these shots, these signals is just coming out of nowhere and they're good for you actually, but not in the wrong energy. It's not, it makes you feel heavy and some more shit. And then you can get stuck in it just because that's if you don't, like, you're not conscious of like the space with it and how it's like always hitting and shit. right? Well, like now. So it's like we've been dealing with straight M's and X and C's for a minute now. Like it's been in a C baseline, meaning when it's in a C baseline, it's pretty much saying A plus B plus C equals M. And then when you get to M, like I've been saying, there's an X on the way for sure, a big X. I promise you. It's by the 19th. I don't know what today's date is. Yeah. Well, yeah, by the 19th, really beforehand, probably, um, probably by the 13th, 14th. Feel me? Yeah. So I think that might be Friday the 13th. So yeah, by that time, there's gonna be a big X flare on the way because it's just simple math. A plus B equals C. A plus B equals C. Then A plus B plus C harness from above, right? Boom. Equals M to this, which goes to the X. You feel me? Simple math. Alright? Because you add all of those up plus M, A plus B plus C plus M, you get X. Because it's pulling magnetism from the ether star. Feel me? From Sirius A, B, and C. Pulling magnetism from the ether star goes to Sirius. Blue, 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 blue. But the thing is, when it's not hitting us, bro, it's actually hitting like Orion and shit around. Because Sirius is connected to that. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's about 6 stars that's really more closer and they're aligned in different places. Just like Gemini is a part of Orion, bro. And that's part of the 12 houses. And when you're looking at Orion, bro, they have they have strong stars. Like their whole setup is just, you feel me? You got Betelgeuse, you got Sirius, you got some more stuff. But Orion's belt is really where them CMEs gonna come from. Just because where it's attached to going up for me. And Jupiter is about to come in. CMEs come from Jupiter too. For me. They come from everywhere. So it might be something with CERN that may open something for them. But that means that's when they're trying to do something before the 6D settles. Because I believe what I'm saying now. But I was saying we're in the 6D, not completely. It hasn't settled to be in the 6D. We're in the cycle of the 6 and the 7, dealing with Mu and Nu, right? Because that's when the gates will open when 6 and 7 settle. It's going to be 6 on one side, 7 on that side. Feel me? But the crazy thing is, it might reverse if it hasn't reversed already. Because it seemed like since um, February, right after the Super Bowl, it seemed like the pole shift, like towards India. So, yeah, I got off topic, but I was saying by these certain times, bro, like I've been watching around. Um, and they used the war for the little distraction. So the U.S. been acting like they're with everyone because that's how they did the colonization, right? If you look at what the U.S. is doing right now, and remember the Thanksgiving story, okay? Remember the Thanksgiving story, and look at what they're doing right now. They're acting like the pilgrims, right? Pull up, be like, we're gonna help you, and then slide when shit get hectic. The whole time they be knowing, cause there's a whole nother battle going on, and it's with us and other species. And something I know for sure is because of these balloons, these so-called balloons that the military are shooting now. Then they're trying to say something about extraterrestrials to throw it in there, but that's how they told the truth in a lie, because when allies and axis come together, that means friends and rivals dealing with countries. They come together and use, like back in the day, like World War I, World War II, and that's what we're dealing with, a world war right now. So when the Allies and the Axis came together, they used these certain balloons, right, that they'll put high up in the air, right? But they wasn't really balloons. I guess they were, but they were like buoys, right? Yeah, like pretty much little buoys. You know, like how the buoys be in the sea. They had a buoy in a different state of matter, the air, because really the sky is really a sea too. So like that being said, it was like a sky buoy for me. Meaning, it was like a land. It was like a little checkpoint type thing, but it was for the allies and the axis to see who were coming. And the crazy thing is, it's like I was reading, I was reading that like the allies and the axis were using this together for the seed of incoming attacks. It wasn't like they were saying the allies was doing on this side and the Axis was doing on the side. They said both of them, right? And that's what's going on between the universal line, which they call the Greenwich line. You feel me? Left and right. So that being said, they're warring with extraterrestrials. They've been warring during World War II. That's just fucking proof now. I mean, we keep having proof over and over again, and it's beautiful. I love it, but that's like my proof right there. So like, it helps you see when you read. That's the power of reading. But read shit that's tying back to you, because that helps you see the reflection. You know, it'll all make sense. It's just the reading helps it click even more, because you'd be like, oh shit, I read about this. And then it's just be like, yeah. So boom. So back to what I was saying. Say how we're dealing with M's and X's on our side of the line, right? And there's holes in the firmament. Really, it's like the radius, like how big the CME hits, they're bigger. Like they spread out from, say it was like one little point, right? You got one little point, and say you got 1 point, right? All right, so say this is a point, okay? Usually with an A and B, it will only be this big of a circle. But since it's a M and X, it's like this big. So that means if it was hitting more like in South America, like right there where Mexico is or something like that, or 144 degrees in the Pacific, dealing with Cali, because Cali experiences that a lot with the earthquakes, just because them CMEs is always hitting um 144, but that's dealing with all these pyramids that's under there too, because that's what's causing the vortex in the water, which is attached to land, and that's going to cause a rise up when the UV keeps hitting it, right? That's what they're trying to stop because the natural energy is converting, but they want to manipulate it for themselves, right? I think they've been doing this whole time, low key. So I think now it's coming to a wrap. Not saying they've been trying to manipulate, they've been doing this shit. Because you have to understand, they wouldn't be able to freaking manipulate you if they wasn't. Feel me? That's why it has to come to a stop. And it's coming to an end. But just like a couple of bitches, they're not going out with, without a fight because this has always been a war. It's just motherfuckers is acting like casualties and not like soldiers right now. I'm gonna repeat. Motherfuckers are already living acting like casualties and not acting like soldiers, warriors, spiritual assassins. Nigga, this is spiritual warfare. Nigga, you gotta be on a spiritual assassin, ascended master, nigga, tapped in, and, ooh, time, you feel me? Like, that's what time we really in. Like, you're not a 14th Amendment citizen either. Especially fake ass corporation, bro. Like, these niggas just need to go. Period. But back to what I was saying, bro. Okay, so say this is the grid, right? So it's hitting boom, 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 boom. Alright. So say this is the Greenwich line down the middle, like line of symmetry down my face. So say 5D was on this side, right? Which we're in. 60 has been on this side. So they're experiencing more 6 ether because the dimension actually stands for ether. So we're talking energy. Dimension is another time word that they created for time. It's all the same shit, right? These periods of times, uh, feel me? It's all dealing with a cycle. 9 is the most significant of that. You feel me? The 12 is just really a 3. It's a rebirth of itself. You feel me? So that's like when you say you're going into a new year, you leaving the shit behind. It shouldn't be attached to you when you're going into a new energy. It's not that you're leaving it behind. You're just detaching it. You feel me? detaching what doesn't serve you. But is when you're trying to do it in the physical, you have to do it in the mental. That's really how you can attack it more. But the thing is like if you go back to the old shit, you can find yourself locked back up again in the mental, which can get you locked up in the physical. You feel me? It worked hand in hand, the mental and your physical body, because your physical body is actually pretty much an entity itself. You feel me? Like, really, it is. It's just a reflection of how all of us can come together and do something amazing. It's a reflection of the universe. It's a reflection of natural energy. Like, if you look at all the technology, even some of the like even some symbols, like everything is um pretty much symbolisms of light. So back to what I was saying, bro, because it's all tied, because it's symbolism of DNA. I gotta stop saying that because it goes back to the 369, right? But the 369 deals with the DNA. But what is the DNA dealing with? The genetic code, right? But it's dealing with cells, which are atoms at the end of the day. Cells are atoms, okay? Cells are atoms that hold charge. Now you have power cells, okay? Boom. So, that being said, that the atom, oh my bad. All right, so one side, this side. So, so we going into the six, which we are. We're about, okay, it's 1890, 1980 hertz, 2070. So the timeline is going to cross pretty much soon. Yeah, because that X is going to be representing it going into 1980 or 270. Or no, it's going to represent it going 2023. Because, or somewhere in that range between 1980 hertz and 2070 hertz. That's the whole timeline of craziness, right? Between this time. Because if you look back in history, boom, it's going to be significant to these dates too. So it's like, now we're experiencing the 6D energy. The UV is going back up like it was. You feel me? Because we're back in solar. You feel me? We're not in lunar. Yeah, all them little lunar eclipse and fake occultations with Mars. Really, it was a whole nother star. Right? A manipulation. Dealing with the Dracones. But now, the M's and the X's are huge. And they're spreading more in the US and southern. So the thing about these clouds is when it's generating high amount of energy, it turns these ions into ice, snow. But the thing is, the 6D energy, which everything right of the Greenwich line was experienced, they were pretty much Arctic blasting these fools by manipulating the energy because it was supposed to be hot. But like I said, the UV is trying to reach its natural energy connectors because it was all built to connect that way. So pretty much it makes constellation of light here. Really, it does that anyway here. Period. With us and everything around. That's how you're even getting a reflection to even see. So, yo, it's like light coming out my hand right now, bro. You see it? See, that's me regular. It's even lighting up while it's away. It's not even on camera. That's dope. But anyways, the only light is up there. No, I have no lights up there. But, alright, so that being said, the U.S., they've been over there, Taiwan, China, Ukraine, whoop de whoop. And the thing